Welcome to Ghana Great and Strong, the program we've been bringing to you since December 2012. So almost 4 years of this serious, important, national concern program. The one program of its type that is only interested in what will strengthen our country, Ghana, and make its people, all of the people, prosperous. Ghana Great and Strong is brought to you by the Ghana Growth Fund Company Limited, the people helping put infrastructure into place in Ghana, the people who have invested and continue to invest in building industries, creating jobs all over Ghana. Ghana Great and Strong is the company that is making it possible for me to bring this program to you. And my name is Papa Kwesi Indom. As we go along, if you want to participate in the program, we are not opening phone lines yet, but you can send me a message through WhatsApp. The number is 020-7566-185. The number again is 020-7566-185. And tonight we are going to talk about what we are seeing, what we are experiencing, what we have been going through on the campaign trail, so that I bring to you some of what my eyes have been seeing, what my ears have been hearing, and what I have been saying and what other people have been saying to me, because it is important that we share what we experience all over the country. I go by road and I travel north, east, south, west, all over the country. Good roads, okay roads, some terrible, horrible roads, and so on and so forth. Strange places sometimes to sleep, sometimes not so good food to eat, and so on and so forth. But that is campaigning. That is bringing our message to the people. So I want to return some of that. Since you are not everywhere with me, you are not everywhere with MPP or NDC or PNC or any other party or independent people as they go around, I want to share what I have been experiencing with you. American ende hene jumazi Ghana Great and Strong jumazi. Zamehu, zamate, zamaka. The ibinum so akachram Ghana ne babia de yerko na yedi hen sam yezer peti de yeboto abe na hen so yerko apro na aprobono mu nsam aprobono mu za yetete yezere hun ono nende mepede mezibi metebro sende bebe yerko no ewo enko hobi bebe yene namno ewo enkanam hobi oya bebe yebadampo asam wo ho bebe ade ebedi ekwana yenam do kakra oye ebi nso yebafa ndemara ana defa so bebi so a omonyo oya kwana jina nso mtum mfra ne car kwan sende bi ne bebi wo ho a anya kwana carum order ofado am oye enti ono ene bedi no ho nkomo ende enyubri. So let me also say from the very beginning that, election in a country like Ghana, election must be about development. You know, the people in the US or in the UK and other places, well, they have moved on. When they go to election, they are talking about, some of them talking about the European Union and what should happen, what should not happen. In America, somebody is talking about making America great again. Some other people are talking about how to refine the system, their markets, how to bring greater prosperity to the middle class, to eliminate some of the difficulties that the poor have in America. In America, they are even talking about how to extend free education from senior high school to the university level. In some instances, if you go to a state university, a state-sponsored university or a government-sponsored university. So they have moved on. But what about us? For us, election must be about the fundamentals, the basics. So for us, it must be about how to bring good drinking water to the people, to all of the people. Because in some parts of the country, that's not there. How we can gain our freedom and be free from preventable diseases. Those diseases that if you build effective walls around the people, around the country, you clean it up, you make the water bodies hospitable, clean, and you take care of the environment. Those like the malaria and the cholera and the rest. And yes, the monococcal meningitis, those things that are preventable. Those are things that we must deal with. We must talk about them. Talk about how we will deal with them effectively, successfully. We must also talk about strong quality transportation system, such as good quality, durable, interregional highways, good railway system, so we can move goods and people efficiently across the country, to have the branch roads and so on and so forth. And then we need stable utilities. When I say utilities, stable utilities, I'm talking, of course, electricity, I'm talking water and the like. Those are fundamental things which we still lack. We need them. So election must be about those things. And elections must be about bringing jobs, more jobs, and more jobs to the thousands and millions of young people who are out there looking for them. So, for me, that's what an election in a country like Ghana must be about. But if that is going to happen, there must be some prerequisites. Some prerequisites if we're going to be able to take care of the basics, the fundamentals. And what are some of the fundamentals? We must ensure that democracy goes to the grassroots. That it's not just happening in Accra at the center. Democracy. Who makes decisions? Whether it's the people, the leaders, and where the leaders come from, such as chief executives. Where do they come from? Who chooses them? Should be by the people, where they live. We must beat corruption. We must beat corruption, because we waste money that we could use to take care of these fundamental problems that we have. And when I was talking about the development that this election must be about, I must go back and add one other thing. That is good quality education for everybody. For everybody. Boy, girl, everyone. Then one of the prerequisites is how to put competent leaders in place. Competent leaders in place. About some of them making. Sabe yabotui campaign at yeri. Over there. Na the sra bibi moba. Ye the shusha bibi moba. Ye the church maybe seen in Zambia Baba Ghana main. Now I want to war America, Britain, Germany, France, one saka I want my friend Fapim Nzama one saka. Safi one ijuma kasaka sina wohwe. Ahoto akasaka sina wohwe. Ahyan yadzi. Yes, insu a impa bonum insu papa. Impa bonum. No de yedzi hujuma yaka ho asam. Ye kire kwana ba fodum wa aba. Mo be se na abofra baboko school. Benye school papa wa akọ. Okoso a we di kunyim wo school. Afi Yerba Hroa, Ebo, a man who banya, Wamba, the malaria no nazi, cholera nazi, no de Kamwasam. If it's done yaye, away from him main. If it's done a yashema, and so unjeba, and su, Kania, dundum, Obaba. If it's able to con, yanam, car quan a papado. Near railways, railways, railroads, railways, Juma wasana bebu, no matre, Bessin yaye. Ne Bessin ye, Juma mahen, babun when you be aye. Enemy, the men's no day about a campaign, no. Enemy wasam, no day, a bibiara yaka. One way bidder, one about 2 waye, about corner buffalo, na other than the me, other album, hina brabo, and puntu album, man puntu jumakasi, a tree, we do in me to no abba. So these are the fundamental things that this election should be all about. So we'll take a break, and when I come back, we're going to start to talk about what I have seen, what I have heard, what I have said, what others have said to me, and some of the places where we have been, so that you can be informed and you can make up your mind about those items. And don't forget, as I said, if you want to contribute to the program, do it through text message, through WhatsApp. Send me a message to 020-7566-185. We'll come back. My name is Papa Kwesi Indom. Welcome back to Ghana Great and Strong, where this evening we are talking about what I have seen, what I have heard on the campaign trail, out there in the country, and what this election must be all about. And I want to acknowledge some of you who have been sending messages, like King Okran. Others have not indicated your names. Some from Ashanti who are just sending messages of greetings. A message from King Okran, stressing the need to beat corruption and what is it that he says I must do. So all of you who say good evening, I'm saying good evening to you as well, and I'm glad that you are listening, you are watching Ghana Great and Strong. So I want to be specific. This past week, I was in the Brong-Ahafo region. The Brong-Ahafo region, you should know. To our country. It has made them in the past, it continues to make them, and it will make even more contributions in the future. You know, in the past, if you're looking for some good plantain, some maize, and so on and so forth, that is where you would go. But these are people who had been the backbone in many places, in many instances of the cocoa industry. Cocoa, the people there, and they are hardworking. So where did I go? Went to Sampa, went to Tiobodom, I went to a number of other places, the Drobo area, and down to Sunyani, and then we went up on the other side to Kajeji, and then coming down Tebubu, Yeji, and so on and so forth. Been through all of those kinds of places, many different towns, Techiman, So we've gone all over the Brong-Ahafo region. Now here is a region that is just bustling with activity. Yes, there is gold, and gold is being mined there too. Gold is being mined there too. But then they are mostly farmers. Agriculture is the industry there. But I tell you, if you have made such contributions to the country, and you are in Brong-Ahafo, and you're driving from Sunyani, Brekum, going up all the way. You go up and you go to hit Sampa. You will experience excruciating difficulty with our transportation system. Bad roads, horrible roads are there. They are there. And it's just unimaginable that here is a very productive area of the country. And look at what the people encounter over there. If you don't know, this is an area with lots of cashew. They grow lots of cashew. They pioneered, engineered this whole cashew business. And the cashew business that is going on, the farmers there that have formed cooperatives, have associations, they are crying for help. And they are crying for help from their government. They are crying for help from many people to be able to have good money and a good return for their hard work and their labor. So if you lead into doing something like this, and then you find that some people have come, the foreigners, they are not bad people. Foreigners can be good to an economy, to a society. But then when foreigners come, and they come to cheat our people, they come to take advantage, undue advantage of our situation. And then you have government that doesn't help. Then it is bad. So why do we sit there for people to come, Brazil, Vietnam, India, and so on and so forth, to come and essentially dictate the price of cashew to our farmers, take the cashew, take them to their countries, and then they go and do the processing there. So the value addition is done there. So the higher price labor is there, not in Ghana. It's a low price labor that is in Ghana. And one thing I also saw, they told me, is that now some of the companies that come from India, for example, they will bring Indians to come and do some of the work that Ghanaians can do in the cashew business. It's not complicated work. It's not highly skilled work. It's not technical work, but it's work. And it's work that should pay, and it's work that should be, the pay that should go to a Ghanaian. So why do we allow that? And then I saw up there a Ghanaian who had put up a processing factory which is essentially closed because he, the Ghanaian, he can't get abundant cashew to buy in Ghana because the foreigners have placed their hands on the cashew because they have money and our people don't have money to go and finance the purchasing of the cashew to process. So why is there a government? And this is what the people were talking to me about, that they need a cashew development policy, a cashew program that will see government assisting our people to basically take full charge control over the cashew business and ensure that they get good prices, ensure that their labor pays them a decent return. Is that too much to ask? Iyana and wana will do a cashew. Equarco. If he more friend Tichiman north south, when he have a straw or sampa cashew. Baby, I will do a honum. Then so, and when I will do a cashew, ya hand gun a maim, and a ho be no what once about to do. Na Ghana yi, ono nye binto, na often ye factory Juma Wagana. Na ibino so that ho be no by the major mono, a Wagana ha. And ono, and here from what's now on where then. So we need to find, and this election, it should be about talking about how are we going to solve problems like that so that our farmers can benefit. You go to places like Kajeji, Yeji, and so on and so forth coming down, they grow yam. They grow yam. A lot of the yam that are brought down south come from that area, that side of Brongahafu. I did not see one processing plant or processing factory to process yam. Come up with yam chips like some people in other countries, they have potato chips. I didn't see anything like that. As a result, you see yam all over the place. And the farmers getting small prices for the yam. And yam can get spoiled. So when the yam gets spoiled, well, it's spoiled. So having a good return for the farmer's labor, for me, is a one of the important matters that if we deal with adequately, properly, will bring jobs, more and more jobs, and good money to our people. So what I've been hearing, some of what I've been hearing has been about how does a farmer get a good return. Maybe I'm mobia or canyon, yerdo, yeri yujuma, yerbre, and so the yanser kanu osa. In Siaboko, and Queni, why a mobber, a one crum, why a mobber, or his kikuchian school fees, or here sika, baby out simple, most not say. Nina, yaza muruhu, there's a one so work catch them, a ho, one would be a buyer, one would be a cashew, and one would be a cocoa, one would be a bro, and a neck account, we now or a bronga half a maim. And then, as for roads, look, what I saw, and I have some pictures of what I saw, what I went through. I saw buses stuck in the middle of what is being called roads, but with not just puddles of water, with lots and lots of mini lakes that you have to, weave your way across. And some one of these government-owned buses, it had fallen into one. One of our vehicles got stuck, had to be pulled out, and so on and so forth. And these are roads leading to productive areas where they grow yam, where they grow cashew, where the people are working hard, but no help with infrastructure. And while we were in Yeji, lights out. You go to Kajeji, you must use a generator, and so on and so forth. But interestingly enough, I also have some respect for some of our workers, group Indom workers, because you go to Kajeji, you go to Yeji, you go to Atebubu, and a lot of those places, Sampa, all of them coming, there's GN Bank in all those places. Somebody is there. But all of those places, big or small, have generators. Imagine, if you have a company that is working towards having 300 offices all over the country, and if electricity is not stable, it's not reliable, it means you buy 300 generators for that company alone. Just think about the fuel. Think about the maintenance work. Think about it, people having to travel all over the place to make sure these are serviced. But if you don't do it, how are you going to send a universal bank to Kajiji or to Yeji or any of one of those places? How? How? And if there is no bank there, where do people keep their money safely? If there is no bank there, who finances development activities, small enterprise, and who makes sure that the money is safe? So that infrastructure thing that I saw is bad. It's bad. That is what we must talk about. And that is what I hope the people keep talking about, and everybody who shows up, they present their case to them as they did to me. I was able to sit down to have a meeting with cashew growers so I can understand their problems. I don't want to wait until Ghanaians vote for me and PPP, go into government, and then begin to go on a fact-finding tour. Campaign must be about finding out all of what is going on in Ghana and prepare solutions. Prepare solutions ready for implementation. So it is important. It really is important. And just let me, there are some messages, again, someone from Ejura sent me a message that, look, there's a lot of people in Ejura, that there are needs, a lot of needs in Ejura. And he's saying, yes, I've mentioned all those other places in Brong-Ahafo, but that I have to go through Ejura to get to those places, and there are plenty of people there. I must come there as well. And there are some other people who are saying, well, Ghana does not just need a leader, but a person who cares and thinks about the country's wealth. And he likes the discussion that we are having. He says, God bless you. And I also say to you, God bless you as well. Because we all need God's blessing and His protection. And in a country as we are in, sometimes as we go out there and keep traveling, sometimes it's night, sometimes we leave very early, and you face these dangerous roads, and you go on roads that seem sometimes as if the roads are leading to nowhere. And then if you go from Sunyani to Kajiji, and it's taking you about 5 hours on some rough road mostly, well, you must be thankful you are able to go and come back as I am. That's why I talk about making sure that we put our trust in our faith, and that our faith guide us. Because in Ghana we need a lot of development, but if we're going to have development, we must have life. We must have healthy life, and we must be strong. We'll take a break, and when we come back, I'll continue to talk about what I have seen, what I have heard, what this politics should be all about. My name is Papa Kwesi Indom.
Hey, oye wonwa de. Mesima wiase tu kwei. Nyipa pii na wo hu omma de. Wa homaje. Oye pension. Owo de hu de. Adeche nya wode. Ntiri ntumi ngina poten de daachi. Iyi na mababa yo. Anampo betna se da kosimra. Ubani be ye panyin. Na menti no twa de. Eye wo pension ho hihye sisiara. Obiara nyi ho otumi ye ne yet de Pen Trust Limited. Adwumaku a wa kwadre wa homaje nsemu. Pen Trust nko na won krobete twa hia Ghana fa na nyinara. Na biara won ibotu nyi he dinkita ho. Yet abefo mfiri na Dia, what to na yede show second na 30-year pension fund. Echiso ye hwe mapie na ya yamo. Ahufoma na hohyedu die nkan wa din nyinarem. Nkankan wo sikasie ne hihye. Deminti tutumika na nyembe din kita ho. Ye wo safe floor wo Premier Towers dana Obian National Theatre. Trehen it was 030-290-1500 and 030-290-0989. Pen Trust. Yes ahohyedu na yezi yedwuma. Pen Trust oka group induminjumaku no ho.
Television viewers viewing in Ghana just got better with the introduction of First Digital TV decoders. FDTV offers you over 80 channels of more Ghanaian content, more news, more fun, and strong after-sales support. For more enquiries, contact us on 0243 002222.
Welcome back to Ghana Great and Strong, where we're talking about what we have experienced, what we have seen out there in the campaign. Apostle Edmund from Dansoman says he's happy, the vision and also the concern that I have for Ghana. I thank you, Apostle Edmund. It's a message from Alpha. Alpha says he's from KEA. There are a number of other messages that have come, and they're all encouraging messages. I want people to understand why I'm talking about this, and I'm staying. I want to just stay tonight in the Brong-Ahafo area. The Brong-Ahafo area, once again, if you take Brekum, the Brekum roads are also terrible. The inside Brekum itself, and then going out of Brekum. You have heavy trucks going up and down, messing up roads. And one chief, I don't want to mention his name here, he said, please, if you do get to become the president, I just want you to understand that we don't just want that thin layer of something where they just come and roll over, clear the road, roll over it, put some water on it, and put something little coal tar on it, and bring some gravel or whatever. He says no, he doesn't want that. He wants a proper road with proper asphalt, and I agree with him. Yes, it's more expensive, but in a productive area requires strong, steady road system. That is what those people there need, and that is what they must have if they are to continue to do the kind of work that they have been doing. And indeed, it's also interesting that in Sampa, the place where cashew had been developed, now that we're going to go and do election, they said 3 days before we got there, they had started with some caterpillars or some road construction equipment, clearing the roads, smoothing them over. Even that morning when we were there, early in the morning, they had started putting some coal tar on some parts of the road, and started to clean them up inside the town. Why? Yes, it's important, but I'm still saying to you, the connecting, the roads that connect from one town to another, and to areas where the farms are, these are needed. But they are also not just needed during election time. They are needed all the time. And when road projects are done hurriedly during campaign season, they don't last. They do not last. And if you don't believe me, you go and check some of the roads that were done in 2012. Some of the ones that are being done now. Even some of them that were done last month. Go and take a look at what's happening to them. And you will see that we are wasting our monies all over again because somebody wants to win an election. And this election, it should not just be about winning and doing something just to win votes. It should be about how to guarantee development. That's why I'm talking the way I am this evening. And that's why I'm using real experience and a real area, and to bring you what is happening in the country and what we must do. So let me say to you, as I just go through a couple of the messages, and then I will, well, someone says, well, in fact, I have hit the nail right on the head, that he's happy we're exposing some of the problems that they've been experiencing for so long. And I don't want to forget that it's also in the Brong-Ahafo area that the DKM problem had also been so deep. The microfinance issues. And why wouldn't you have those? If the roads are bad, if infrastructure is bad, if utilities are bad, yeah, of course, the universal banks are going to just sit in places like Sunyani and so on and so forth. So, if not for a bank like GN Bank, the other people who are there, sitting out there in the small towns and so on and so forth, who is looking after those small microfinance companies to make sure that they don't take undue advantage of the people like the DKM people did? So that too is a problem that Brong-Ahafo people are facing, waiting for their money, waiting for some resolution, and waiting for some protection so that something like that does not happen again. So we can't just talk about it and leave, because we have seen these problems in the past. There was the Piram cases, there are similar ones that showed up, and it looks like every so many years, something like this reoccurs. So why don't we learn our lesson? I'm tempted to say, abadin sir ne yen pere papa perko, ne yen solve problem no straight, deal with it, so it doesn't come back again. So the problems with Brong-Ahafo, indeed, there are many. There are many of them. And so let me try and offer a solution. Before I end this program tonight. And what did I tell the people? I told the people that I would like for them, the farmers, to experience what American farmers go through. I have lived in a town in the US. The time I lived there, it was only about 1,600 or so people in that town. And the main occupation of the people in that town, they are farmers. They grow corn, or here we call it maize. So they grow corn. They grow beans. And they are cattle farmers, dairy farmers. When I say dairy farmers, they don't get their cows and whatever and then get up in the morning and drive them across the road to places here and there. They keep their cattle right there where they are, their ranch. And the ones that keep the cow for milk, they are all well fed. They are fed. The food is brought to them. They don't have to go walking to go and forage around for food. Anyhow. So you see that they are healthy cows, and they produce milk and so on and so forth. So these people, this 1,600 or so people, they had a couple of banks in the town. They had supermarkets in the town. They had a school, a complete school, a kindergarten all the way to senior high school, like I've been talking about, because I spent 1 year there. And they have everything. But most importantly, if you see the farmers in that small town, these are farmers, they drive their own cars. They live in their own houses, nice houses. And they are okay. They have money in the bank. They are able to go and get credit to buy tractors, to buy dairy equipment, to milk the cows, and to keep the milk and then go out and sell them. And you know what? What helps to make this happen is that in that particular town, there were 2 factories. One factory that processed corn, and the other factory that processed beans. So they'll process the beans, put them together. Some of them, they package them fresh, and they take them to supermarkets to sell. But they are well packaged, nicely in containers, and then they go and sell them. Then corn, they'll boil the corn. They have equipment, factory, they boil the corn. They put the corn in cans. So they can the corns, and they go and sell them. They go and sell. Those dairy farmers, they sell the dairy, the milk that they produce. to a dairy company, a milk production company. So they come and pick it up, and they put them in big trucks, and they take them to their factory, and they process it. So they sell the milk to people. A town of 1,600 people. And because they have a ready market in that town, well, the farmers grow. They grow. The land is in demand. The land is productive. They use equipment of different types, the fertilizers, all of it. So it's productive work. Productive work. Not like in Ghana, where you grow your corn, you grow your cashew, you grow your bananas or whatever it is, and you pray for someone to come and to give you a decent price and earn some little money. It's not like that. But also, in addition to those factories being there, the government, the state of America, it also offers to buy surplus farm produce from the farmers. And that is what they store. That is what they store. So that when there's drought, when there are problems, they release them to the market. Or when we in Africa, we need food aid, that's the sort of food they bring to us, is the surplus that they've bought from the farmers. And because the government is ready to buy surplus from the farmers, okay, the farmers don't suffer huge fluctuations in prices. That is what they do there. And that is what I want us to have happen in Ghana. In Ghana, do the same things. Help the farmers. Help make sure that they are processing factories in these production centers, these farming centers. So if you go to a place like Sampa, you must have a cashew processing factory there. That is Ghanaian. That is from Ghana. That is processing the cashew in Ghana. You must have a factory in the areas in the Yeji and those yam growing areas. So we can process the yam, and we don't have to always just have the fresh yam around and get spoiled when nobody buys it. Add value. I've seen what happens elsewhere, and that's the sort of thing we must do, and that's the kind of thing that we should be talking about in Ghana during this election period, and not just calling people names, insulting, making noise, singing and dancing, but we must offer real solutions to the problems out there. What we have seen, what we have done. Somebody's asking me the question, what would I do about the DKM matter? Look, that DKM thing has happened. We must have compassion on the people. We mustn't sit there, as some people in government have done, and say, you people, you were foolish, you were greedy, you went for a lot of returns on your money, and if you've lost your money, so be it. No. We must draw a line and say, this, once and for all, let's go and solve this problem. Let's help pay the money to these people. If we don't even want to pay the high interest rates promised, let's make sure they get their monies back. And we'll make sure, I would make sure they get their monies back. But then we will start a rigorous process, not just burdening or overburdening Bank of Ghana. This is a government problem, because security also involves the people's economic security. So we must ensure that people are not in Ghana who are opening up these offices left and right without any supervision, without any examination, and they're just out there collecting people's monies. We must stop them, and I would make sure they stop. Besides, I would also ensure that we have proper insurance. Something has been started already, but I want it to be made bigger, so that anybody who puts money into a licensed financial institution, that there is insurance on it, so that up to a certain limit, you can get your money back. That way, we strengthen supervision and we strengthen the surveillance in the market. That's what we must do. And that is what I will do. There's a Dr. Entry from Bonso has said that Dr. Awotri from Bonso says, well, you know, that they've been told that if you vote for people, it says the era where we were told a vote for PPP is a wasted one ended for him in the last election. Well, I hope and I agree that this must happen. That wasted vote deception must stop, because indeed people voted the last time. Somebody went to become president, and the end result has not been good. The end result has been us running to the IMF. The end result has been those kinds of roads that I have been traveling on. The end result is lack of protection for our farmers. And farmers, instead of getting richer, they are getting poorer. And with still, as I said earlier on, foreigners are good if they bring good things. But foreigners are not good if they come and take from us what must be reserved for Ghanaians. And so we must do better. And so we need something new, better ideas. And that's why a vote for PPP this time will be a wonderful thing, will not be a wasted vote, and will bring increased prosperity to Ghanaians. Indeed, there are a number of different questions that people have come in. Someone says he's an electrician. He eats once a day. Someone says he is watching and listening in Techiman, and so on and so forth. I'm glad that you are all listening. I'm glad that you are watching. This has been a program to just bring to people what I have seen, what I have heard, what people have told me, what I have said, and this is what I have seen. Hard-working people in Brong-Ahafo, growing cashew, growing maize, growing yam, and so on and so forth, but living in poor conditions, horrible roads, utilities, water, electricity, difficulties, and many people struggling with the basics of life. And I heard the chiefs talk. I heard ordinary people talk. And I heard people looking for hope, just hope. And many young people, so many that it's even frightening, that all of these energetic young men and women, all of these people, many of them without anything productive to do. What should happen if these people will rise and say, enough is enough? Life is not worth living. So let's go and do something. What would happen? Let's not make that happen. So we must offer hope. And I hope that in this election period, it's the hope that we are offering that we talk about. The solutions we're offering, just as I've talked about this evening, is what we talk about. And, you know, someone is talking about how would we fix the economy? Well, that's what I've been talking about. If you put proper infrastructure there, if you stop corruption, if you ensure that your farmers have a market, if you help bring processing facilities. I know about factories because I have brought factories to Ghana and I know how they work. So I can tell you how we can ensure that we bring these processing factories. And indeed, I have placed the order for, this is something perhaps next Saturday I'll talk about. I'll talk about the central region and maybe some parts of the western region, and then show you and talk to you about what I have seen there and some of the solutions that I want to bring. I went to an area, let me just say that as the last thing tonight. Asin Breku. They grow rice. But there's nothing there to mill the rice. And so they pound the rice that they harvest. They pound it. wosu ɛmu no na ne ho ahon no oyiyi nti ɔyɛ a na efi ka ho na ndzɛmba na adze ka ho nti mo kura dɛm mesɛ mo hwehwɛ ɛmu no bi nso wɔma ɛmu bag do ebien bɔtɔ wɔ hɔ ara mede me sika to hɔ mede mo hon cash mede mo hon nso na wonya ɛmu no bi wɔmfa ma ɛhɔ na wɔsɛ na obi ba na obi kɛse obi da abrama yasana ti dapɛn kor na ebi di be esia bɛyɛ esia no hwɛ n'enyiwa anya kono nso wo dze ebie no sɛ korai ndɛ echi wɔdze do ebie no wɔdze abram hard working people no help so if there was a mill there, imagine what these hard working people can go through and how improved their lives would be. And so I want to tell the people in Asin Breku, just as I've seen in Beposo and other areas who are growing rice, that I am picking Asin Breku to help. So I'm going to send someone there next week to go and look for some land there. Since I went there and saw what they were going through, I have seen that we can help, maybe bring an example of what should be done in every region in Ghana so that we can become self-sufficient in rice production. Because I've seen that the people are growing the rice. Maybe they need a new and better variety, but they need the help milling the rice and making it work well. So I'm going to use the Asin Breku as an example. We'll go and find land there. Then we'll start construction of a facility there, sample facility. And I've done some research since I've been there. I've done some research where I can find a relatively small size rice mill. And so we'll order it. We'll order it this year so that maybe by the end of the first quarter of next year, the rice mill will be in place and that the people will have a place to take the rice, get it milled, clean, and so on and so forth, and have good quality rice produced in Asin Breku. And maybe when we do that, somebody else will go and do it in Beposo. Somebody else will go to Nobwom in Ashanti region, or somebody will go to other areas in the country. They'll do similar things. And before we know it, Ghana will be eating made in Ghana rice. It's possible. We can do it. We will show the way. And I want to thank you for listening, watching Ghana Great and Strong. We just want to talk about what will make our country strong, great, and all of its people prosperous. I want to thank the producers, the technical people here with me. We're doing this program live from Ocean One Television in Elmina. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll come your way next week, Saturday. This has been Ghana Great and Strong, and I have been your host. My name is Papa Kwesi Indo.